Okay, so collections, as I was telling, we have a hierarchy in collections also. The collection has set, list, and queue. Set has these are interfaces basically. Set, list, and queue are the interfaces, and has set, sorted set, linked has set, and then tree set. All these are classes. Hash set, linked hash set, tree set are classes. And the same way, list has array list vector, and linked list is a part of list only. It's related queue also. The queue has only one main subclass, which is priority queue. The same way, map interface is there, so it is separately outlined than these three, because there is a purpose is there in map. It actually allows, map will allows key value pairs. It's a list only, but it has different structure. I'll teach you. Okay, and then map has hash table, hash map, tree map, linked hash map, all these classes. And then object is a very top class, and it has arrays and collections as utility classes. Okay, which as I told, these two class has methods which use it to apply on collections. These are some operations that we can apply on collections. Now I'm going to talk one after one. First, I will talk about list. List has, as per the chart, or hierarchy. List has mainly two types: array list, vector, and linked list. Okay, so I'm going to talk about each one. Array list. First
Can
one
I
is
ask
array.
one question about the hierarchy?
Sure. Yeah.
So when you go down the hierarchy structure,
Hmm.
so one of them is like direct to the, like, for example, interface, right?
Hmm.
So interface set. So you have direct from to the hash set, and also the interface. What's that? I don't
That
know
is
how you say.
sorted set. Sorted
Yeah.
set.
So why is that the sub is like some of them has? How's that work? Like for example, the tree set
Yeah.
going to up to the navigate and then up to the. What does that mean? Is that
Up
something
up
really
means,
different?
up means both have, both have is a relationship, so if you look at there is some thick, there in few places there is a thick line, in few places there is some like dotted lines. So dotted lines means, interface. When we learn about interfaces, what we learn, like one interface can extend another interface. Okay, so the same way one class can implement another interface. So the dot dots, whatever you see, those are like implementation. Whatever the thick line you see, the arrow thick line, the extends, it's another extension of this interface. Okay, that's the difference.
Yeah. Is that something to do also when we creating class or method?
Yeah,
Something is
this
has to
this
be.
you need to know this hierarchy. We are going to we don't need to know, how this is outlined in the hierarchy, but we need to know what is the purpose of hash set, what is the purpose of tree set, and how to use them in the program. So let me okay, complete the course, so that you will have the answers for the questions what you asked. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go to first one, array list.
Mm-hmm.
Array list is the very first collection class, and it is very very important. Array list basically used in many of the applications, and not even many, I can say all of the applications, every program, every application, every, the project. Without array list you cannot survive. Okay, so this is very important. So now we need to know how can we declare array list, and how can we retrieve the data from array list, how can we fetch the data from array list, how can we add the elements into the array list. Okay, and we'll talk about theory part also. So okay, what kind of data it will store in the array list. Okay, so now the definition what it says. So it is basically uses a dynamic array of storing elements. It's a dynamically we can add the array of elements into this collection. So that's why this array list is the name, it's named as array list. And it extends all these like abstract class and implements a list interface. That's about like array list implements the list interface here. If you say array list, so it implements the list interface. And what else about array list? We'll go through it. So, and can contain duplicate elements. Array list can have duplicate elements. So that means when you're trying to add like same kind of elements into the array list, it will allow. I mean, basically say the elements which has the same value, also it will allow the array list. And what else it supports? It maintains insertion order. Array list maintains insertion order. That means the way how elements are getting inserted, the same way like array list basically like stores which order elements are getting inserted, the same order array list stores. It doesn't change the order, and it is not synchronized related to threads. I will talk later. And array list, array list actually random access because array works by indexes. So that means when you are storing the elements inside the array, it will store like the elements as indexes. That means when you are trying to put the first element, it will store as 0. When you try to put the second element, it will store as 1. The same way like it will basically use the indexes and store the elements. And manipulation slow because lot of shifting is required. When you're trying to add data, when you're trying to delete the data, it takes a little time there compared to others. So now let's run one of the simple program like adding some of the string elements, and adding student objects, subject or student objects also. I will go through one of the example and how to declare here array list. What is the way to add elements, what is the way to retrieve elements inside the array list, we will see with the program. So now quickly if you observe like here inside the document, word document, how we are declaring the array list. Array list is the name, and then put the type of data which you wanted to store inside the array list, and then declare an array list with a new keyword. And then once we declare this array list, okay, then you can add all the elements required using add method, and then you can retrieve using iterator. This let me create one of the program. So for creating array list, what is the syntax? ARAY list, and then put what type of data we have to use with. So this is syntax like for any class or collections. If you want to restrict one type of data, if you want to limit one type of data inside the collection, we can use this syntax like after any class or collection, then you can put less there, and then corresponding data type you want to store, and then close like with the greater than symbol. So now example list, example string, basically string list equal, this is the object name. I just take it and a new array list. Array list, what is the data type? It is string again here. I'm just creating one kind of collection object the same way how we are creating the class objects. So now here in sixth line, I declared an array list with string type. So now how can we add elements? We can add elements using add method. Okay. Now in this collection object, what we can do, we will add elements like, I can say add. Uh, so we cannot add other than string. Suppose if we try to add 1, 2, 3, it will not accept, because while declaring this collection, right, we are telling the compiler, Java compiler, that this collection will store only string elements.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So when you're trying to
So we need to
add,
add int if
yes,
you want to make numbers. I
correct,
see.
correct. So int it will not allow. You can put only names like, kind of some Sam. Okay. These names only will allow.
So when we're doing the array list, we don't use the other bracket, like, the
Can you come again, Salem? What is the question?
the bracket we're using, for array. It's not the other one, the square bracket.
Okay, okay, okay.
I thought we do the square bracket for
Because it's not an array.
for JavaScript.
This is not an array. This is a collection. That's why you're not using square brackets.
Yeah,
I see.
That's correct. Array is like, array is fixed size. Like let's say if you want to put array, if you want to create array,
Yeah.
array of strings. Okay, equal new string. You have to, like, without defining, like, the size, it will not allow. Okay, so what we have, it will not allow. It will say, like, initialize, like you have to put what you have to put the size, like how many elements. Okay, so then only it is allowed string array. So but so array is very dynamic. So this one, right, now here array of strings will allow only 5 elements, right? It will not allow more than 5. But here, uh, here the example strings list, right? Whatever the string list or example string list, whatever the variable, you can change this all, any variable. So this string list, this array list type, okay, so it will allow n number of objects. Even I can put, like, 1,000 objects dynamically. It will keep adding. There is no restriction like this. Like, I can put even like this, like, even 1,000 I can put 1,000 times. I can add. There's no problem. It will allow. See, I don't need to declare. I don't need to initialize this array list with predefined size like that. This 5. I don't need to put, like, we can simply declare like this and keep adding the same type of data, like, string only it will allow. You can actually add n number of names. It will still allow, but you cannot add other than string. So that is the concept of array list. Let me add one more name, and then I'll print this. So for adding, what is the method? Add method. For retrieving, there is iterator concept is there. I will put that. Okay, so let me put
So it gives you the freedom to
develop.
as much as you want.
Yes, for developer, it gives the freedom to add a number of
So I will
number of objects or elements inside the array list.
I see.
Yes, yeah, it will give the freedom. Yeah. And now how can, so this is like adding the elements inside the collection. Now how can we retrieve collection? So there is a iterator. Okay, there are 2-3 ways we can retrieve it. Traditional way I'm showing you. Other way also, like, let me put here strings list name. I'm going to change. So the first way, like, First way is like, using iterator. Using iterator. So every array list collection has iterator is like, embedded already into this collection. So there is iterator. Iterator is there, so which used to iterate the elements. Okay, now the iterator, right? So iterator itr equal. Okay, so now okay, iterator. Okay,
I should be capital.
yeah, yeah. So now import this. Yeah, so now this iterator, I can actually, there are some methods inside. So iterator has next and iterator next is there. So itr dot has next. So has next method, what it does, it will give us the boolean true or false. Okay, if any collection has next element, it will give the true. Okay, so that way we can actually check whether it has next element or not. So let me check whether has next is there or not. If or like, while, we can put while. So until it has next element, we are keep iterating and then display the next element. Okay, so now itr has one more element, which is uh, next element. So it will give us the next available element. Okay, let me print this. This is a very simple way to iterate the elements, or display the elements which are already there, which are already added. So now if you look at it, right, so this 20 line is printing all this, like, so this iterator, what it does, like, up to here, up to 14th line, we are adding, like, three elements, and here we are retrieving the collection using first way, which is iterator. So every collection or every array list has iterator method that we are using, and using that iterator we are checking, like, whether it has any next element or not. If it has next element, then go and grab that next element and print it. This is one way. The second way is using for loop. Okay, second way is using for loop. These all we learned, right, basics, like, in first few classes. So for loop, how can we do? There is a, like, size method inside, like array list. So for int I equal to 0, I less than, uh, there is a string list is the object, right? There's size method, so it will give us, like, what, how many element size it is stored. So in this example, like, what is the size it will store? 3, right? Here it will actually basically 3 elements, so it actually iterate 3 times inside the for loop. Now I plus plus. So this one, like, give us the, it will iterate all the collection elements using for loop. So now what I can do, like, system dot, it will let me add one more SOP so that it will, see, this is like, this is a way of displaying elements using iterator. Here displaying the elements using for loop. And so how can we do? We basically for loop, as I told, right, earlier. So in first class, first initializer will be there, and then condition, and then if then execute this command and come on, like, increment one of the like, so increment the index, and then check the again like the condition until it become false. This keep like, running the inside the code. That's about for loop. I think I explained, like, you can brush up what is for loop and all in very, like, first 2 or 3 classes I explained. So now what we can do, we are printing the elements, right, using for loop. So what we can do, not idea. So string start get off index. Okay, get off index is which I here. So this way also we can print the elements, collection elements, or we can iterate. So now if you look at the output, so this is like, the first way, display the elements using iterator, the same elements, display the elements using for loop. There's one more way, using nested for loop, for advanced for loop. So advanced for loop is very easy way to iterate. I can simply put only inside two basically, like, the parameters, which is the each iterator element and this one, the collection object. So this is third way of iterating the elements. See, if you observe this one is has little more code, and this very simple way. Let me say all three ways, like, return the same data. So there are 3 ways. So mostly we use this one, is very simple. If we need index, right, inside the code, we have to use this for loop. While iterator, like, rarely we don't use much project this style of iterating the array list, but like, 2 and 3 are very popular ways of using. So you understand this, try to understand this one. This will repeat, like, for all the collections. It's pretty much same way where we add and retrieve the data. Any questions here? Just try to understand this program very
Yeah, I have a
well.
question, Chandra.
Yes,
I have questions.
Yeah.
So if you put string, comma, integer, then what does that mean?
Where do we put string comment?
In this angle brackets on the top, array list,
Which line?
line
Here?
number 7, yes. So
String
inside the
comment.
angle bracket, comma,
We cannot
integer.
put. We cannot put.
Oh, you
here.
cannot do it. Okay.
Because that is only for map, right? Key value page. So this is only for list. It will allow.
Okay.
It will only one type of element.
Okay.
Only, right? We are adding string on.
Okay. Second question is,
Yeah.
if you remove angle bracket and string, for instance, what will happen? Both sides.
Still allow. You will still allow, and both sides will allow. But this is we can completely remove it. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Completely.
And then what will happen?
It will allow, like, this is not suggestible. It will throw some errors, like, somewhere this is not suggestible. It's not good for code quality, and it will fail in code quality scanning, because the problem with this, right, we don't restrict for any type. Okay, so this is open for any type. Let's say I added here all the 3 strings. By mistake, when this collection passed to other program, if they put, like, let's say some numbers, it will still allow. Numbers it will still allow, because I didn't put any restriction here, so it will allow. So let's say in multiple places they put somewhere string, somewhere integer, and somewhere like somewhere we'll actually put some double different boolean. So while retrieving the data, you don't have any clue what type of data you are retrieving. You'll end up like some conversion issues, like that is the drawback. So here itself, now itself in our program, it shows some warning. Observe the warning. Array list is a raw type. That means it's a plain type. It will allow anything. Reference state to generic type should be parameterized. Like it's a recommendation they are giving. Okay, and it will fail in real time the quality check. So it's always we have to use type safety Angular bracket. That's correct.
Yeah. And Chandra, the last way you showed in this one, it is. Can you go over this a little bit, please?
So this is kind of like advanced for loop. Like see, if you observe this one, so the second and third one, one we are actually using indexes. Using the indexes, we are actually trying to retrieve. So indexes, how it works, right? So in collection, when you're trying to add, it will store in zero index 0 first. So
Right.
now this one, it will store in index 1. It will store in index 2. Now my let's say Rahim object is there in index 1. Okay, now what we are doing, what we are telling, like here in this for loop, we are iterating through indexes from 0. Okay, 0 to all the way size. That means, so what is the size here? 3. So we are iterating 0 to 3, and we use the index and we are trying to get using index. Okay, in this for loop. That means, so first time when you iterate, it will get the 0 index data, Sam. Second time it will get the Rahim. Third time Ram it will get. Okay, so that's about. So this way, what it does, right? Okay, this way. So it actually we don't need any index. Suppose if you don't need an index in the coding, what you do, you can simply mention like, okay, this is my list, and what type of list it has, like it is string only, right? I put string here like element, so I will get directly element using this, like with the two parameters. I don't need index anywhere. Okay, let like forget about index. Okay, starting from first index to end index, let me give me all the elements. Okay, that way.
Okay.
So and here inside, like internally, it will use the same iterator logic inside. Okay, inside it will use iterator. Yeah.
And this is also called enhanced for loop, right?
Yes. This is enhanced or advanced, both are same. Like enhanced or advanced.
Same name. Or each for loop.
Yeah. For each loop is different. That is different. That is the Java 8 concept. Enhanced or advanced.
Okay.
That is.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So we have another 10 minutes. Salem, did you understand these concepts or no?
Yeah, and also when the curly brace, the top one, we can limit the number. You say up to 5, right?
This is like that is array example.
Yeah.
With array we can limit 5, and there is no way you can limit this. With array list, there is no way you can limit the size of the array list.
So that's
it is dynamic. Always dynamic it is.
Okay, but this is also one choice, right?
It is always. Okay, what is that? It is always.
I said it is. Yeah, it is another choice to. For example, if I want to.
No, this is not another choice. Like this is old way. Like we don't use even arrays much. There's another choice, but we don't use this because this array doesn't have very good methods like to retrieve the data. This is not another choice. Okay, this is very old tradition, like old way of storing group objects, group of objects. Okay.
Okay.
Old way of storing. This actually has a lot of limitations. This array. Okay. Array is, array is old way of storing group of objects. Okay. Any questions? Salem, do you
Enhanced
understand?
is like, yeah, I do. Enhanced is equivalent to the arrow function, like when you're doing in JavaScript,
Yes.
like a short way of like.
Yes, it referred the element arrow function, right? The same.
Arrow
Correct.
function.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Just I just want to know.
Yeah. Okay. So you got it right. How can we add elements? This is important to see. This is simple program and very important to understand. So this actually array list used in lot of places. And let me, okay, how much time left? Okay, let me try to add user defined objects also. How much time left? Is my control zoom controls? Okay, we have 7 minutes left. Let me put, okay, student object also. I will store student objects data also, or subject or student. Okay, I think this document has that. Subject.
What's synonym word of int the word like integer?
Integer?
No, not integer.
Iterator?
Iterator.
Yeah, that
Any
is there.
synonym word?
Iterator. Let me see.
Iterator is also interface, right, Chandra?
And then she's asking general synonym, like the English. Let me.
Like
repeat. When you repeat things, you loop something. That's called iterator.
Yeah, that loop.
Yeah, loop. When you loop something,
know
it's called iterator. Or you repeating. No, you want to go inside and
I
the
don't
loop.
think repetition.
Iterator means looping. Loop.
Yeah, that's correct. Iterator is correct, but the looping is correct. But let me check in Google. Iterator synonym. Repeat. Okay, whatever says it is correct.
Repeat.
Recur or repeat. Okay. Synonym. Repeat
Okay.
is the iterator.
Recur, repeat. Okay.
Yeah. Repeat, go over, repeat,
Go over again. Yeah.
These are synonyms. Okay, I will. The subject I have to, like, there is one more way to iterate. Okay, so one more way to remember me next class, because I'm going to take next week only. One more way of, not one more way, like, we can store user defined, or like, any already created class. If we have subject, student, employee, or product, so those called user defined classes. User defined classes, we can create objects like student object. We can even store user defined objects also in array list. This example I didn't show. Now what I showed the example, I stored only strings here. Okay, these are strings. I didn't store the objects. Okay, like student object, subject object, or like, employee objects and stuff. So this I will show you next class. Okay, so we will go in slow pace going forward. because I want you to fully focus on marketing as well as the parallelly we learn
Yes.
without forgetting, right? So we'll keep brushing up our knowledge.
Chandra, one logical question.
Okay.
So if it's the repeating, I cannot say the iterating thing. So
Okay.
the while is a Boolean, right? The answer is going to be true or false, right? When using while.
This one you're asking?
Yeah.
Okay.
The
So
Boolean is going to be the answer, right? It's going to have to be facts.
yes.
So how's that? It's like if you have a string, it's not like numbers, integers. So how's that will be the answer, like the outcome of the while in this case, only specific in this. We have like 3 names, 3 strings. What are we expecting?
This we can.
Do you understand my question?
No, I didn't get it completely. Can you come again?
Okay. So
Can I answer that, Chandra?
Yes, sir.
The answer to this question is that, you see, you can put anything in the index. Index is just a 0 to whatever. You can put any type there, integer, numbers, or string, or what, any type. You see, so you are mixing that. So it's like, say it's dynamic array. So you can put inside the indexes 0. You can put any name because you mentioned the string type. So you are putting their names. So it is going on the indexes 0, 1, 2, 3, whatever is there. So while loop, you are saying while this is less than, while iterator has next, and if it has a next item, then print it. That's what you are basically saying, that's happening.
Yeah, but I got it. If it's like, but this is like, since we expecting answer true or false. So what kind of factors we give in order to get true or false? We have here.
So true or false means you're asking about this one, Salem, 21st?
Yes, that format, yes.
Okay, this one, right? It has already some predefined inbuilt methods. So this actually what it does, right? When you iterate or when you go over, it will give us true or false. False means, so at the end of let's say we are already at second, we printed RAM here. Okay, it will come here after RAM. It will go and check whether this has any next element after RAM. It will give false and it will come out from the loop, come out from the while. It will not print anymore. So at the time of RAM, it will give the false. Until RAM, it will give the true. Okay.
I see. So we need to be specifically putting the names in order to what we wanted in order to get the true or false. You mean?
Yeah, correct.
I see. Okay.
I think it is ending in less than 1 minute. So we will. I'll send these notes immediately now. Okay. So, and you can just go over this basic the very first collection program and come up with the question.